dashboard and you access help desk under others and click on it. Let's see if you haven't been in it yet. I'm kind of curious to see what's okay. It's going to bring me, since I've created a help desk already, it brought me right here to where I can register a new company. And this is the one we're going to talk about. I got inspired to to give this a try and kind of explore it, because I want to put together a help desk for events. I'm having an event with my business partner, and in full disclosure, my sister. She and I are having an event this weekend, a turning point event here in Charlottesville. And I got busy and built a funnel out, and then thought, oh, it would be nice to have this support desk, this help desk right there attached to the funnel. So when people, and I haven't set up the commands, but it was really easy to do. It's really easy to register a new company. You just come in here and you can start and you enter register your company name and put in a link for the logo, for the image for the logo. And in this case, on the one that I showed you, it was an image, a full image that I did, that I'm using as a logo, and a description. And then you can attach it to the same help desk, the very same one, to more than one domain, which is going to be really useful as we start planning this event business. We can use it for the events. We can also use it for our coaching and any training, and because they're all in, there's several domains on the company. So I really love that feature, that we can connect so many domains as well as subdomains. And here's where you would put your subdomains in. This is all covered in Jackie's training, and she walks you through it brilliantly. So it's very easy to do. Now, I'm not going to create a new company. I'm going to go back over here to the help desk. Hopefully, yes. And when you get into the help desk, it'll also show you your statistics, and you can see this is brand new. It's just brand new. I haven't really done a lot. What really excited me, and I think really excited Jackie too, was the way that you can, since we have Cheetah, you can customize a lot of the way your help desks, your attendants and the people working for you have access and what they see when they're working. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I think I'll go over here and I'll show you the website that I put it on. Hopefully, I see it. Can you just add it to a subdomain? Yes, Judy, you can. You can add it to a subdomain on that. Let me go back over here. I think it's like, you can add it right here if you want to add a subdomain. I think I have a subdomain on, I can't remember what it is though. It's on a couple of these. But if it was like on Terry Stevenson, let's pretend I have one on Terry Stevenson online. This is in my personal account, since I was building on the personal. It's not my training account. So it's got all my domains in it. And it would be, let's say if I wanted, let's see, let's do September 2021 as a subdomain for all the events that I'm going to be using. I could put create a subdomain and just put it there, just by registering the subdomain at can't even type. At Terry Stevenson. Oh, I didn't even spell my name right. TerryStevenson.online. So you just fill in your subdomain there and add it, and then you can add it to as many of these lists as you want. Now, of course, on this one, I don't want to add it on, like on the one that I created, I only had it on the one website at this point. Just at this point, I have it on this eatingfire.us, which is the actually the funnel for the event. So I attached it to that domain so far, but I'm going to also attach it. I don't know that I'll attach it to Eating Fire Online. That's kind of a gamified version of some material that I'm using mainly as a lead magnet. I might, but I don't know. I don't think it quite fits. And I don't really think it's necessary because I'm not selling anything on it. It's all coming back to, I might add this same help desk since I'm working with my sister, and it'll be attached to the Terry Stevenson online. I doubt that if I were setting this up for the one that I'm doing live, I would not tick that one or that one. I might keep it on the Terry Stevenson online, but and just create more departments. Definitely, let's tick it off though. The SOAR Consulting Group, which is our
Terry, sorry to interrupt.
That's
When
right.
I understand you put it in the subdomain, do you have to complete the entry at the top where it says the name? So do you have to put your domain name at the top and the description?
This is the name of the company. So like, no, it could be, let's say this, I'm not going to actually create this right now, but like for this Eating Fire, it's a funnel and it's nestled in and it's attached, and we're doing business through, you know, my company and my sister's company. So it's attached to more than one domain. So for this particular help desk, just this one, I've named it Eating Fire. And I would put that there. And then the link to the image. And I'll show you that when we look at it, if you like. And then a better description, you know, I would put in, you know, like this is the support and help for the Eating Fire or the Turning Point event in Charlottesville in September, you know, 2021, and give a better description. So this is not the same as, you're right, that's a good question, because that's not the same as your domain name. You're going to want it to be, of course, related, I'm sure. It's kind of like branding as well.
So you could just have your name there.
Yes,
just have your name.
You
Okay,
really could.
fabulous.
You really could.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's so really cool about it. And then you choose the domains that you're going to put this and this script on, because that's what you're doing. You're creating a script that we're going to put on the main page of the domain. And I'll show you how to do that, where you do that. So once you create your company, let's go back, and I'm not real familiar about how this app works, whether or not you can, where it goes back to yet, but let's see. No, that's another screen I want to show you. So when I was, let's see, this is, let me find it. Open up our side menu here. Oh, with nothing there. And I'm trying to see if I can get back to that screen where you see it again. Maybe I can. Learn it together. Okay, so here's the settings right here. This is the Eating Fire help desk. And we're going to go back and check the settings. And here's the Eating Fire. Here's my image and my description. And that's just the company. It's kind of like a company information. If you're setting up Mailing Boss, you kind of want to think of it that way. You know, now there's other parts that we've got to set up too before we even get to configuring. And that's what I really appreciated going through Jackie's training, because she's got the document there and she just walks you through it step by step. And let's go over here. That's the home. Let's see, that's the, I can't remember what some of these are. We'll find out together. Oh, I think this is the chat. This is a full chat. And this is what it would look like if you're looking at it when the chats and the tickets come in. So that's the chat. Let's check this one out. And that gets us back to the integration. And this is also giving you all kinds of information about your tickets that are coming in. I just sent one, I think I sent one to my sister during a meeting probably. Let's see. Now here's where we get into your departments, because as you're planning your support and your help, no matter what it is, you're going to have it divided up into different departments, more than likely. You know, like even in the small company and the partnership between my sister and I, we still want it segmented into things like technical. She wants to make sure that I get all the technical questions, believe it or not. And she gets all the marketing questions. And then, so you set up your departments first, and then you're going to put them into groups. And assign attendance. So you have to kind of work in a hierarchy like that. Let me make sure that I've got, oh, hey, Tyree came in, huh? There he is. I see him. I see him. Let's see. So the list of departments, you can click here and get into your list of departments. And I'll show you the departments. I did 3 departments. I named them technical support, sales and marketing, and then billing. I thought, well, that kind of suits definitely for an event. People have questions about billing on products and seminars. And it's really standard. It's really very easy because you just, here's your settings, here's your editing, here's where you trash it. And this is what activates it or enables it or disables it. So I can turn off billing support, and that is successfully deactivated now, which is a good thing because I don't have anybody assigned to it yet. I don't think. I might have assigned my sister, so I'll activate it again. Can't remember. I was building so fast. And then we had the sales and marketing and the billing, and you can change the names, of course. And let's open it up and see what the settings look like, because it's important that you do your settings by department. And this is where you're going to set the language. Under general, you're going to set your language, and we're going to leave ours to English. And the time, you'll definitely want to set a time. Terry, are there any suggestions as to what departments we should have? Tyree, that's really a good question. And I thought long and hard about it. I really did. I thought, you know, what do I need for this project, for an event, somebody that's hosting an event? And that's what I love about help desk too. You could create a help desk for just about anything. I mean, think about it. You could create a help desk for a wedding. You could create a help desk for a graduation celebration, and create departments and have all of that go straight to somebody. It really, if you open up your mind, there's a lot of places that you could use, you know, just a really simple help desk. So I think, I don't know, this is what I'm thinking, and I'm just learning. So you guys need to get on the ball here and beat me to it, because if I can't hack all of the little ins and outs of some of these ideas, you know, this is a great Fiverr gig, I think, you know, like just for small little help desks that you can run for, you know, 6 months for a wedding, or let's say somebody's having a party, you know, a big party. I mean, you're not going to need a help desk for any of my parties. But there's a lot of creativity here when you really understand how easy it is to set up a simple one. So
hi, Terry.
Yeah,
it's me again. Sorry,
yeah,
interrupting.
Please interrupt.
I'm still in my PJs. That's why you can't see my face.
Well, that's all right. I'm just right behind you.
So I was just thinking this would be really great for everybody in Builderall with their team. They could have different areas in their team that they could help with someone. So if they've got, say, 3 or 4 people want to be helped with, say, their website or something, they could have a website section or a mailing box section, or, you know, like different sections of Builderall. And then when they get 2 or 3, they could, you know, organize a training or something on Zoom. Yeah.
I think that's an excellent thing, because you know, you can give people a chance to rise to the top, and really it would be an easy way to move into really more of a role of leadership as they get more confidence. I think that would be an excellent way to grow your team and really support your team too. I totally agree with you. I think there's a lot of power in this app that we haven't even begun to peel into and get into yet. I've been thinking a lot about that myself, because I know that I've got some, you know, like I don't have a huge team right now, but I have so many different types of niches coming into my team that I think it would be really helpful in maybe to organize it in some way that way. You could even do that. I don't know. So I like that idea. I think that that's going to be great, that when we can really start to think outside the box with this. And the fact that, you know, this is not cheap if you want to provide that kind of support for a business. And we can easily offer a very simple one service at a great rate and recurring. Then it's a great way to, I think, to build in a recurring business. I haven't really noodled it all the way out, but I have a friend that has a pizza business, and she's moving her business at the end of the month, if things go well, and it's been around for 30 years, and people, not just her clientele, but her employees and everybody is, like really disoriented. And this is a whole new thing after 35 years in the same building and doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm thinking this might be a really good way to just kind of like ease that transition into the new location, answer a lot of questions, and probably help her get control of her staff, her team, by if anybody's ever worked in the restaurant business or the food and beverage business, that if you don't have somebody call off on a shift, it's a good day. And these days it's even more difficult. So I think this is a great way to think outside the box. I like that. Anybody else have any kind of ideas that they think that they
I do, Terry. This is Stacy. I have an idea as well as a question. So the idea that came to mind, and I've never used, I know that on the e-learning course or e-learning platform, there is a way for students to send in messages to you and, sort of like help. But it dawned on me that because I have an academy that I'm launching, which obviously has, courses in it, that this could be useful if there's a way to put it on the site where you have your membership, and within that membership, your courses, that having something like this, so that if people have questions, it's probably a better way to organize questions based on which course it is and things like that, since you were talking about like the departments or the categories. So those could be the one for each course that you have or each topic, and they can send in questions and you can structure it that way, especially again, if you have people helping you or if you're just doing it yourself. It still seems like it would be easier to use it, to structure it that way. Does that make sense?
I think it makes brilliant sense. I totally agree with you, because the way this works, when you load that code and that script on the website main site, it's going to show up on all your pages. So I haven't tested it. I can't verify that, yes, we're going to be able to do that to e-learnings, but I cannot see why you wouldn't be able to. That is definitely one I want to test out. You could put it on the main page, and you could put that chat bubble wherever you want it. On the page that I created today, I just put it in the footer, but you can put it on the header or anywhere you want.
Okay. And then let me ask you a question. Yeah. So the other thing that dawned on me is, I wonder, so are you able to use it sort of like a chat bot, in that if you don't have a live person helping, is there some ability either with our chat bot or through this itself to put in, canned information, canned responses, and so on? I'm just curious.
Definitely. Let me show you that. Let me try to remember where it is that you put that in. It's like it's new to me too. But yes, because you can go through, it's on the, I think it's, I'm trying to remember. Let's go through this real quick, because there is a place where you can put in when you're configuring the chat or the bot itself, the way the help desk works, you can put in a beginning questions, required questions, so you can narrow down, like, first of all, so many, even if it's a question about a specific course, like in Builderall, we always have to ask, what kind of browser are you using? What kind of, device are you on? Are you on mobile, laptop? Did you clear your cache? Those are those really important questions that you want to knock out before you even start dealing with the support issue. You need that information up front. So I can really see how you could build and structure that initial conversation to do a lot of that sorting through the categories of your e-learning courses and narrow it down. And they could say, well, what course are you, is this about? And I haven't tried it yet, but I have no doubt that you can work in the chatbot and things like that at some point, very similarly to the way the chatbot works, only it's the support desk. And the great thing about this is that this gives you tracking ability for accountability reasons, as well as time. You're going to be able to gauge and know how long that student, in your case, has been, when they ask the question, how long they've been waiting. And you can route them that way into the different departments. And even further, then you assign your attendants, if you're lucky enough to have multiple attendants, depending on how large your organization is, then you can assign them to that particular department. Now, I think in a university or an academy type of situation, that is, you know, a no-brainer, because then you've got maybe the instructors for that course is responsible for handling, of course, the help tickets. So then, and the support tickets and chats. And you have, as the owner of the academy, you have a way of seeing it and knowing what's going across everybody's courses and who's participating, who's doing the work, who's answering questions, things like that. And then if you have somebody that knows across multiple things, then you can add them to more than one group too.
Can a department be assigned, and I'm just using the word department in quotes because that's how I'm understanding it, department or category, can it be assigned to, two-part question, can it be assigned to multiple people? And how is it assigned by an email address? So what I'm asking, I'm imagining in my mind, so let's just say I have a certain department, I don't know, I'll just use what you had, marketing, and I have Stacy, you know, or Sally and Terry listed for marketing. So if something comes up, can it go to both Terry and Sally so that whoever's first free will be able to respond to it? That's the one question. And then how are people notified if they're not sitting in front of a quote unquote terminal or portal? Well, does Sally get an email that says you have a you know, with the question, just an email that says from help desk department X, here's the question.
Good questions. And that's just exactly, yeah, there you do have those settings and the way to configure that in the configuration stage. So let's look at this real quick, and it's probably going to, even just looking through it is going to really help answer some of these wonderful questions, because these are the questions that are going to break open your brain and make you figure, oh yeah, now I know how to use this. So here, these are the general settings. And remember, this is the department. We're only talking about one department. So if you're going to have multiple departments, you're going to make these decisions for each department. You're going to have your assistants here. So as you see here in this department, I can assign multiple, this is the technical department. These are all of my attendants that I have registered at the moment that I've entered into the system. Let's say, you know, like Sue can help me out. I can add Sue to this department. So now what that means is that's going to put Sue's going to get the alerts, and she's going to be able to access the queue. And these tickets come up, these chats come up on a queue, and then you'll get an alert, and then you can respond. So you can add this and subtract this however you like. And you can make it as big or as many people. And on, you know, like on some, you may have one person on all the departments, you know, if it's somebody that really is got a handle on all of it, but they're able to, and depending on the hours too, because you're going to structure the hours and put hours that that are covered by these people.
Oh, you can put, I was going to ask you that. So I'm assuming that's under limitations or quantities. You can actually put people in a department, but then put different hours so that if it's not within the hours that the person is working, they won't get a ticket. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can structure it, the hours that it's that here. Let's just move through it. Here, let's go to the next is the shortcut text. Here's where we were talking about building these messages that are going to help you sort out what department or who it should be assigned to, or the issue, not really who it's assigned to, but the issue. Imagine that this is where you're going to set and configure as many of these messages, custom messages, as you like. Now, the basics are fixed. You can't change these down here that are fixed. And what this is kind of a shorthand for your support attendants, whoever is managing the queues and answering the questions. These commands are something that they'll end up knowing and memorizing because they use them so often, probably. And
it's like a text expander, Terry, in case anyone is familiar with the text expander, which I use all the time, where you actually create shortcuts and you put in, like I put dash, you know, LT, and it means, you know, late to come or whatever. Just you put in codes and then it makes it easy. So that's awesome that it has that.
Yes, and you can make as many of those as you like. And this, in fact, I did just simply change these because I think that they come into the program when you're first setting up your site. I'm not sure, but I think they might be Portuguese. I don't know, but that's okay. And this is how you do it. You set the command. You tell what the status is. If you want, you can choose a status, and then what will show up in the chat, the description. And so if all I have to do is, if I'm working on that chat, is say GM, and it puts in good morning. So you can create as many of those commands and shortcuts as you like. And that really is handy. Yeah. So, and then on your limitations and quantities, here's where you set the time limitations. Like when something goes, if it's set to 0, it means that the limitation is deactivated. So I set it to 2, which means that I want to make sure that the notice is going out after 2 minutes or 2. Yes. So you can raise that up or down. Same thing, chat by attendant in minutes. If it's 2 minutes, we need to get an alert about it. Same thing for the tickets or inactivity from a client, from whoever's using it. If this has been inactive for so long, 30 minutes, then we're going to move that request out of the queue, because we don't want it, our team needs to be working on it. And then the time the ticket for it to be late, and it has it set for, I don't know how many, over 1,000 minutes when you first pull it into the system, which that's a little late. I want to know in an hour if my team is, if I haven't, or someone on my team hasn't answered this question. And that way I can investigate it and take a look at it and decide then. So that's what the limitations and quantities are. And then if we move over here to evaluation, here's where you can enable evaluation on the attendance, evaluation on the service, and enable comments for the rating. So that's really powerful too. It's great to have nothing but 5-star ratings and positive comments, but we know that's not realistic. If we know that if you know that somebody just is just not getting to the tickets, there's a problem or something's going on, doesn't mean maybe that they're wrong or anything. There has to be a problem. So this is a great way to get feedback from your users that can help you solve these problems when you're building teams. I love that.
Terry, I just thought of a tip I'd like to share with everyone.
Yeah.
So something that I know others do, and I do as well, is, we all have different people who sometimes work with us or help us, or sometimes we don't have anyone who works with us. So one of the cool things you can do is create a name for your assistant, in quotes, and use that name. So if it's just, I'll just go with Sally. So, or Erica. If your assistant's name is Erica, even if you hire an assistant named Molly, she's still Erica.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that because you could do the same thing here. So whether you're doing it yourself, because you keep saying, with your assistants, and we know that many people work solo. So even if it's you yourself, you can create an attendant. And I don't know where it comes in, except for maybe if you let them know your name. I don't know if there's a place in here where you put their name and that shows up. But the point is this: you can always just create a name. And actually, even if you have yourself and your sister, I'm just using you for an example, Terry, if you and your sister are working marketing on different days, you could still both be Erica, so that there's a continuity and it seems like they're talking to the same person, even if they're not. And again, everyone has to decide if that works for the way they do their business and how they want their business to be recognized or understood. But it's just a thought. Some people use strategies like that, and I just wanted to share it because I think it would be helpful. That would be helpful.
Well, I have to agree with you. I think it's a great idea. And there are many times that I do that even with my email identities, like I may be the only one with answering the emails, but I want to have an email that gives the identity of, info on. That's why I use those kinds of labels for certain things. I want them to be identifiable, so it just becomes familiar. Even though it's all we're wearing the same hat, and we're all wearing all the hats. And I agree with you. I think that that's an excellent point, especially when you're talking about support. I think, and we'll get in here when we add the attendance, you add their emails, give them emails and put in their name. But yeah, there's, like keeping those identities and personalities somewhat intact, even as your personnel changes and shifts. It's probably, I think there's value in that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And I think that would be a easy thing to do here in this system. Anybody else have any comments about that? Well, let's take a look now, move over here to the chat. And this is where, okay, we're going to set this to enable or disable it to show in the queue. And the queue shows up on a specific page that your support attendants are going to be logging into. We'll look at that in a minute. And open chat. Okay, and then here, the very first message that people are going to get is what you put here. And a closing message. And then down here, you can, on the initial form, this is your initial question. After, like your greeting, but what is your problem or whatever it is is appropriate for your business. And you make it active. Now down here, here's where you set the hours that your support is active. And when I was thinking about even setting this initial help desk up for this event, and this is just kind of a test run, figuring it out stage, I thought about it. And I thought, okay, the events are in the US. And so I'm going to limit the hours pretty much to 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can do whatever you want, and you set those here for each day. Now, one thing that I did notice is you can't uncheck the days. So I don't know if anybody else, I'm going to ask that question because I had wondered, well, maybe what if people don't want to have chat on Saturday and Sunday or support on Saturday?
Maybe something about the time. There's probably a way strategically to put time on one day that leads into the next day and shows that in essence is like not having that time at all.
That's
I don't know.
I thought too.
Yeah, when you go to enter the time, what is it, just like 12 to 12?
Yes, it's just a military time. And
Okay.
and I haven't played around with it because I just didn't have time today. But I thought about that. I said, if I leave it blank across the board, like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, let's see. I don't even know if I can do that.
Here, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyree.
In the situation with this chat, and it may be days that we don't want to communicate. Could it be that we put a message in the chat on that day that it activates the chat that we're closed on that day, but put the time that we are going to be able to communicate about whatever problem they have?
I really don't know that, and that's exactly the kind of question that I had in my mind today too, Tyree, and I have it on my list to find that out. Because when I try to adjust it anyway, I can't seem to deactivate like a specific day. The time's no problem, but and so I don't know whether that's possible. There may be a reason, I don't know. And it's new, so that's on my list. See, every time I change that just to 0, 0, it won't let me. And then I get the opening time should always be earlier than the closing time.
Okay, I understand. Because see, what I was thinking, if we had our chat connected to this along, with this chat, like we can set a rule or something like that that would come up and let them know what time. But I understand what you're saying. And I'll be waiting to find out your answer.
Yes, I will. I'm going to send this off to a question off to the developers. Yeah, let's see if I can find that out. Did I hear somebody?
Yeah, it's Jean. Are you able to? You see how everything has a check mark? Are you able to uncheck that?
I don't
Like
think so. I
next to
never thought
Sunday?
about that.
No, next to the actual word Sunday.
Right? No.
No?
It's a picture. It's an image. It looks. I thought it was a button too, but it doesn't do anything. Now I'm wondering maybe that is something that's coming. It's just not. I don't know. So that is a question I've got because I thought it was something I could activate and deactivate.
If you put
But
a
I look
question
here,
in, Terry,
it doesn't say anything. It's just, it sets the opening and closing times of the chat on each day of the week. So that doesn't lead me to believe, I guess they want that information for each day of the week, no matter what. So I don't know. Go ahead.
So can you ask them also to put what time frame it is? Because in Australian time, it doesn't go with that. So if they just put Eastern Standard Time, then people can make the change.
Oh, you mean, well, this is you setting it up for when it's available, when it's going to show up on your site. And you set that time when we set up the company, what's relative for you.
So I would set up Australian time.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then this would be, set to Australia time, right? And then it'll communicate that, I'm sure, for global people as well, because you set.
There's not another area that you can change those times, or is that just in that
That's
section
the
there?
only one I found so far.
Oh, okay.
It really, it is. It's the only one I've found so far. Let's look at the tickets, because I can't even remember. Okay, and these are the same thing. Enable sending an email, opening message when they're sending, and then enter the ticket description. Okay, and then here are some questions. Are you on oh, these are the ones I put in. Yeah, I just wanted the initial form questions, and I made them all mandatory because this is the technical department and I was playing around. So that's, and then you save it. Of course, you have to save all of your department information. And then when you go into the next step of configurations, which is your, I think it's down here, this is your attendance. I think I'm learning these icons. Oh no, this is, okay, here's our groups, and you can register a new group. So we have a general group. That was what was already here and installed when it was loaded, when I created the help desk. And then I created these 3 groups. And you do the same thing, you add your attendance, and then you manage your group access. This is general chat. The admin gets all functionality, and you can read through these, what these functions are in the chat and in tickets. And these are, you're going to want to go through those and think about it, because this is just, like right now, we're talking about one group. So each group is you're going to have to go through this group access. You can make different groups have more or less access to certain functions. You may not want a certain group to be able to create a ticket, only answer them. I don't know. It just depends on how you're strategizing, how your help system is going to work best in your business. Down here is the controllers. These are the company. I disabled it, grants access to the company management and configuration panel. And then, let's see, as well as the department management. I didn't want this as a blatant across the board privilege by this group. Maybe I would, maybe I don't. It's up to your business. In this, I enabled the grants access to the group management configuration panel, because my sister and I are, my sister put me in charge of the tech. So I said, no, you're not going to mess around with my tech up here then. And right on down here, and whether or not you want this particular group to control the integration. These are the places that are really going to be the meat of how you're controlling your groups. So you're going to want to have somebody in charge of that knows what they're doing. And it's not that it's that complicated, but it isn't something that you're going to want to grant access to blatantly across the board.
Hey, Terry, on the bottom where it says integration, do you have any clue as to what external sites and systems can integrate with this? I'd love to know.
Well, in this, we're talking about integration into your website.
Well, but it also says other sites and systems. So like, for example, I'm wondering, for example, if maybe you can integrate with Excel or some kind of database, so some of the data can go out. I'm just curious. And I know you probably know the answer,
I think
but
so.
I was just curious.
Yeah,
if we
I'm pretty
knew what
sure
it
it
was,
does.
and that's
We'll
fine.
get to the integration. In fact,
well, it's probably those little arrows on the bottom. That's the
I'm going to go
attendance,
down the row here, and we're going to look at the attendance real quick. Oh, wait a
Thanks.
minute. Yeah. So let's look at the attendance. And here's where you add your attendance. You can add a new attendant right here, and you have to enter an email. So you're going to register a new attendant with their email. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I haven't tried this email. I don't know whether it'll let me or not. I don't think I did. I might have. Okay, yeah, so no, that's not, I think I have to.
It didn't take it because it wasn't an actual email address, sweetheart. You didn't put .com on here. You just put at Gmail. You didn't put at gmail.com.
That's right.
That's why it didn't take it.
I thought I maybe put it in before. I was going too fast. And good. Thanks for keeping an eye on me. All right. So we got that. And let's just. Okay. So that's the unregistered email. You can tell that I'm in this system. I had to click on that. I had to figure it. So we're going to save it. It's the same thing anyway, I think. And you can add your, and down here, I'm registered again with a different email, which that answers your questions there. You can have several different identities of different emails. Right, Cosmos? See? You could have as many as you want and keep them consistently that way, as long as your attendants can log in with it. So that's the way you add it. And then of course, no, we'll just leave it in there. Now the integration, you just heard a crack. The integration here is where you're going to integrate it into the sites. And you can add domains here. Right now it's integrated in builderall.com because I was on my training site. And Eating Fire, US. External integration. Okay, so this is a script for, let me see. Right, okay, so these are the, this is the integration for the script for the, I guess it would be an icon that you click on, the actual button that you're clicking on anyway for the system that is going to go into the site and cause that to pop up on all your pages. And you just copy it here, get it on there. And then what you will do is you'll go to the, let's go to the page and go to site settings. And the script settings, I'm sorry. So that's, and add it there, right there. And then save it and publish it. And then that will, let's see if I can pull that page over here so you can see it showing up on that page. And now on the bottom right hand, right above the Howard building, can you see that, guys? Are you seeing the right page? The turning point page here, Source Solutions?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, good. I was afraid maybe I got lost. And here's where, and remember I selected all. I was giving our visitors the choice to use either chat or a ticket. So that's why we've got this option down here. You're going to be able to, they can choose a chat or a ticket. So if we click it, it's going to come to a screen, but they're going to have to input the information. Right now it's reading it because I've been in the system. And save a password. Oh, see, it's not going to let me because I'm using the same system email. And so we can get back to them with their email. So that's what that does. Now, one of the things, let's go back here to that page we were on. And here's a log out redirect link. And that I'm going to have to get to the developers, and so we can get this translated into English and access. I'm sure that's login and your customer profile. Now, I have not set any of this up properly for this help desk yet today because I just haven't had enough time yet. I'll come back to that. And then here, down here, your interactions with your attendants. you're going to have attendant access. And for your attendants to log in, use the link below. So I'm going to have to build a page and change the link. And I'm going to have them activate the profile attendant. So I've still got some building to do. But I think that, I don't know why you couldn't, as far as your questions about integrations and pulling information out, maybe like you were talking about, Cosmos. I'm thinking that when we get over here to like the queue page, that there might be a way of doing it. Like if on this ticket, which was just a, let's see, this is a customer, I think, ticket. Out of the way.
Terry, just by the way, it's just so you know, not that it's a big deal. It's Stacy who you've been talking to. I think
Oh, I thought.
Cosmos might have left, but that's okay.
Okay,
Just wanted you to
Stacey,
know.
I'm not hearing very well either.
No worries.
Yeah, Stacey, yeah, I think that, okay, this is the welcome to the BA help desk. This is the login page for when a user is going to come back and check on their tickets.
Okay, and I was just going to say, so when you showed before, basically it looked like this too, when a quote unquote customer clicks on chat, it also opened in a new page. So the first thing that just popped in my mind is maybe you don't want a whole new page. I really like how on our support, it's right on the bottom and it stays there. So I'm wondering if we could even, maybe that's not doable, but maybe we could iframe that page, the new page that it links into. When the customer comes in, maybe it can be iframed to on like a side panel.
Yeah,
on our website.
yeah, I see what you're talking about. And I know, and I'm trying to remember for some reason, and I could be totally off base here, but you're ringing a bell here. And I'm thinking that I saw somewhere about iframing, and I'm not sure where, but I might have just been dreaming. But I agree with you, you know, like the having it really accessible, depending on what you're doing, or something to get them there very easily and always there, even fixed almost on a main page would be really nice. We'll have to ask about that. And I do want to ask about this page. Now, I'm not sure, I haven't dug deep enough yet, whether or not we can format this page differently and create a different, or perhaps redirect to a cheetah page. So that is a question that I've already got on the list, going to Jackie first, probably, and then on to the developers, because she's had the time to really get in there and play with it. Because I'd love to be able to even brand and customize this page. You know, I think that would be really amazing. And that was one of the things that I really loved about, and I don't want to keep everybody too long, because I do want to show you this page. Now, this is the page that your attendants for this site, your support attendants, the people working for you, would sign into their account to get into the queue. So they come to this page and log into their account to get to the queue. But this first page is, I agree with Jackie, it's such wonderful real estate. Especially even for your team, whether you're talking about a business or your support team or whatever, this is great real estate for so much messaging and communication. That, and I was thinking when I was building this, I said, okay, if I were working the support desk, as I'm thinking about this event, what information can I provide for them up front that they would never have to ask? They can come in on this page when they go to work and log in, they see any information right there that's pertinent that they need to know right away. Here's all the information about this event. And then I added some buttons because I imagined that, okay, if they're answering questions, people are going to be on this page of the funnel or that page of the funnel. And rather than try to remember what that page is like, I put buttons, and you can get to the, like somebody is asking a question about, well, I can't answer the question. And they can pull up that page and know exactly what the user is talking about. I thought, well, that's kind of cool. And then you can just, and I'll have to tell you, I discovered the very first time that I've ever found an appropriate use for, in my opinion, for that setting, when you set a link on a button where you can set it to open in the same page or another page. I shouldn't say that, it's not the only time, but that's one of the things that drive me crazy, is when I go on a page and every single link or button I click on opens up a new tab on my browser. Because I'll just be clicking away and then all of a sudden I've got 13 tabs open. Well, in this case, I purposely set it to stay open because like if you're working a support desk and it's a busy one, and let's say you're getting an awful lot of questions about this last page, and people, that's a whole bunch of them, you can just leave that window open rather than have to back out of it to get to where you were coming from. So I finally figured that out. But this is a great place to where you can really give information about your business for your employees or your support team. I like Jackie's suggestion about contests or motivating things to do your team building here in this real estate as well. So, and then as far as all the designing that I've done so far, I haven't gotten all the way done. This is a button that I put in the funnel, the footer as well. Look at this. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So you can do it that way too. And here again, before entering in their support desk, you have to have that email from them so we know how to get back to them. So the user's going to have to set up and register their support question, and they're actually creating an account here on the help desk. And then they can return and change the information, add information, and access, see if there's any results on their questions. Anyway, I don't know how much more I can tell you about it today. How about you guys? Are you asleep out there? I know that I don't know everything in and out, but we're getting it figured out. And anybody have any questions or anything that I can try to make any clearer at this point?
Well, Terry, you're down to the hardcore people here right now. Everybody else kind of cut out. So it's just us hardcore folks up in here tonight.
I know, I love the hardcore.
I think this is very unique. Either people can't see the value of it or they just have no need for it. So this was just not going to pique everybody's interest. But we know Tyree just loves everything about everything. Tyree's going to find a way to make, I love that smile.
She's a sponge. I mean, you're just a sponge, Tyree. You are. You're just.
Exactly.
No wonder you're not as big as a room.
But thank you. But I will say this training that you've done tonight was very helpful for me, because going into what we're doing, especially in the internet age, information age, having a help desk will make a very big difference. What I've been able to do is go look at other products that I've purchased and see how their help desk functions, which gives me a guideline on how to use this help desk we have, and so forth. Things that we have, I hadn't seen those type of functions on at least 6 other different type of companies whose help desk I deliberately create problems to ask questions about. So, and another thing this has done is that I'm working on a site for the church I have, and churches don't have help desks. They barely have sites. But there's a way that this help desk can be used to create continuity in the congregation. So what you're training on tonight, I really like it. I'm going to go step by step with notes, and I'm going to create my own cheat sheet, because this is a very good guide of what we can do with Builderall's help desk. Thank you.
Tyree, I really appreciate your kind words. I will spend more time, because I'm gonna learn this app because it's powerful, and I just love your idea about a help desk for churches. I just love that.
Well, I just thought of something, Tyree. You know what? That can be used for, like, it's a Sunday and somebody's having a service. Listen, somebody can be streaming like on Facebook, but still have a link out to their website, and they could be ministering to people. You know, people come, you want to come to Jesus. Well, you got a one-on-one person who's ministering to you and leading you right to the Lord right there on chat. So that's awesome. Actually,
I know.
That's a great idea.
Literally, I'm sitting here in no air conditioning with goosebumps just with listening.
Aw.
Fired
No,
thought.
really, I think that's an amazing idea. And I thought of something else when you were saying it. I also thought about the fact that I don't think people really understand how well you can use this for, like, so many things. Like, let's just say it's even a live, you can even use, we have the chat when you're doing the webinar. Mm-hmm. This could be a little different. Like, if people don't want to ask questions to the whole group, but they want to do one-on-one support during like when you guys are doing the Mag 5, and then you might have some people on the chat. on the help desk, actually answering individual questions. So people want to buy something. Oh, and I know what I thought of, another great idea. When with the holidays coming up and the drop shipping, you can create 20 drop shipping sites, especially if it's just per product. But you can have a help desk on each of those sites. So when people have questions, so you can be selling all your stuff. And sometimes people do have questions. And when people come to a site and they see the help desk, they're going to think it's more professional and believe that there's more integrity to it than one that may not have that. So that's another thing.
Yes.
You know? So it's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to be amazing, Stacey. You know, I really do, because there's so much credibility with that.
Absolutely.
You can be, you know, have a $500,000 business working out of your basement, but the chat bot is really, or this help desk is really going to make it seem like a $3 million.
Wait, that plus social proof on your single item drop shipping page, right? And people, oh, such and such just bought it. Oh, well, and there's a help desk. Let me ask a question. No, I think it's great. Even if you have an auction up, you can do it on an auction site. People might have questions about the auction, you know?
I really, really wanted to, the more I got into this morning, and I was going like, oh, I wish I had this really ready for this weekend to run it through a test drive, because we're having another event next month in Florida, in Orlando, and it's going to be even bigger.
Is Marshall going to the event in Virginia and the one in Orlando, or is it virtual?
The way it's set up is he's going to be broadcasting from California in Carlsbad, and he's going to be broadcasting to all the
the sites,
all of the different satellite sites with a certified instructor. So whoever's attending live at the CSI sites, and we're going to have one here in Charlottesville, is going to actually be able to do the board breaks and the fire eating.
Oh, nice. That's a great way to do the combination of virtual and live. That's fantastic.
Now, I'm not sure. I'm really thinking that this may be, Marshall has said that this will be the last virtual.
Really?
Totally virtual. Now, I'm trying to talk him out of that. And I'm trying to prove to him that don't give up on it yet. You know, because he's moving more towards to making them local with virtual connecting to him. So I don't know, and I'm going to try to talk him into and letting us do at least one more next month. But this may be the last time you're going to be able to attend virtually.
Oh, in other words, like I can attend from home, but some people are going to be live at your location. He's going to require that people are, and I understand why he feels that way, because there is another element of connection when people are actually live there with him. So I get it.
Undoubtedly, the thing about it is, you know, like the first virtual event he did with Builderall last year.
We were there.
You were there.
I was there.
And that was profound for me, even virtually. I mean, I had breakthroughs and I used the material, but I'll tell you what, when I saw him live, it was kind of like out of the universe.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll save this conversation for
for
another medium because we are still live, but yeah. Thank you.
But this may be the last one. And I really want to be able to work in this help desk. I don't know. Well, we'll talk more about that. Yeah. So definitely if you can attend the virtual this month, do it, because he's really thinking about giving it up. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anybody else have any questions? I know Jean's tired. I know I'm tired. And Tyree's never tired. He's all ready to go.